شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان.
A continuation of our discussion on deviations in the youth. We're talking about causes of deviation in youth and the causes of their delinquencies. Like I mentioned earlier on, one of the reasons that lead young people into deviation and downfall is the leniency of some parents toward their children. Some parents are so lenient to the degree that children are left to have their ways. Father, mother, looking at their child, telling lies, for instance. The father is not bold enough to condemn that act of telling lies. The mother tries to cover up the child just to avoid the child being rebuked or reprimanded. So these are some of the reasons whereby that child grows up with that sense of gratification that people will gratify or glorify his evil, his bad act, which he does not see as bad or evil. So that is one of the reasons. So this leniency basically is often justified in some instances by the fear of causing psychological distress or emotional instability for the child, or by the belief that, okay, the society as a whole has already become corrupt, so allow him. In today's world, you see a child going into Yahoo boys gangs, gangsterism or gangsters. And some people speak ill about that. But you see the mother, you see the father justify the need for that child to be there, saying, oh, even those up there, those are leaders, they are all corrupt, so leave this child to sniff whatever he can sniff from them. It's a free-for-all event, so allow him. So such justification takes no one anywhere, is one of the reasons why youths are deviated, our children are deviated, because you cannot speak with one voice to speak evil about an evil act. Like I also said earlier on, that some parents also claim that, oh, allow him, leave him alone. I went through an even worse phase than this, so allow him. I passed through even worse situation while I was age 12, I experienced such, so allow him. So nobody can talk. Even in some schools, it is even difficult, challenging for a teacher to scold a student. Now, it's even a challenge. Some teachers are even afraid to even correct some students because of the fear that comes with it. Such weaknesses and such flimsy excuses and justifications in reality are indirect encouragement for those youth to continue in that act, for those children to fall into deviation and persist in their wrongdoings. When a child, basically for instance, sees that his or her parents are either encouraging him or afraid of him, some parents are afraid even to talk to their children, or supportive of his behavior, or silent about his mistake, or even defending him, like I mentioned earlier on, when he engages in wrongdoings and crime, it only emboldens that child. He becomes more brave to commit more and more evil. So the Prophet ﷺ have said, "Kullukum ra'i wa kullukum mas'ulun an ra'iyati." Every one of you is a shepherd, and you shall be put to question regarding your flock. So a father, therefore, must take full responsibility for their children, acting as trustworthy guardians. You know, because children are trust given unto us. Kulukum ra'i. You are all shepherd. So a shepherd is given in trust to handle the flock. And you shall be put to question. That's the trust angle there. That's why it's a trust. How are we relating with our children? Then as a father, one must fulfill this duty and responsibility sincerely. In addition to that, where one is not available, because some instance you have absentee fathers. In some instance you have absentee mothers. They are not there to see to their affair and monitor their children with the maybe excuses of running after livelihood, traveling, and some other engagement. Even it could even be the work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as a da'iyah. Some of us that engage in going here and there for lectures, you are in Oshodi today, you are in Ibadan tomorrow, you are doing this work of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You are preaching, you are training, you are teaching to some other people. But imagine, you have left your home, you have left your children. Who takes care of them? So if you have these challenges too, you must create alternative, because no excuse before Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why today is painful, really. It's painful. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from such calamities. We have homes of religious personalities where you see divisions in their children, in their male children, in their female children. And that's why the huge responsibility, double responsibility, is upon us. Personalities like myself speaking here, we need to double our effort. If the non-commissioned persons in the society, non-commissioned for the da'wah work, for instance, the work of Allah, preaching and the likes, are exerting 80% effort in training their child, it behoves personality like us, scholars, ustaz, preachers, to put in 160% effort, or you put even 200 effort. It's worth it. And that's why you find personality like Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anhu will tell his household, his families, his wife, his children, that here, look here, there is a law, there's a rule that I'm going to pronounce in the community, so time. I want to read it to your hearers first. Hear this rule. Don't contravene the rule. If any of my family member contravenes the rule, then your punishment will be doubled compared to those outside. So it is realizing the double rule that is upon a da'iyah, that is upon scholars, that is upon religious men. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from the attending challenges in that order. So, where you are an absentee father or mother, then you must create an alternative that will watch your back. It could be a family member, it could be the mother, where the father is away, but where the two of them are away, something must be created, to watch your back. It is a responsibility and a divine responsibility. So this is one of the reasons that causes deviation in children, in the youth. If a father, for instance, reaches a stage of despair, look at Prophet Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. We saw deviation in one of his children. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told him to build the ark, he commanded people, they answer him, the few that could answer him among the people. Among people that failed to answer him were his family members, including one of his wives and one of his children. He failed to answer. So Deviation like that could be a test. And it was just a test for Prophet Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made us understand that fathers must not lose hope on their children. If you have deviant child, he was upright, he went to an Islamic school, always in the hostel, and now out of school, now in the university, want to feel the world. When that challenge comes in, even at that, we must not lose hope over those children. We must continue to engage. We must continue to fill the gap. We must not say, oh, there's no hope for them. We must always seek a way to guide them back to the right path. We must always seek effort. We must always drive that effort to continuously guide them to the right path. Can you take a lesson? Let's take a lesson from Surah to Yusuf, verse 87. The right thinking position that the father of Yusuf had, that's Yaqub. When Yusuf was off his hand, and he sent his brothers to look after him. Look at what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah to Yusuf, verse 87. He said, "Oh, my sons, go and search for Yusuf and his brother, and do not despair of relief from Allah. Indeed, no one despairs of relief from Allah except the disbelieving people." Here is a big lesson. Look at a righteous father, a noble prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Yaqub alayhi salatu wasalam. Despite all that his sons had done, look at that act of deviation that the sons of Yaqub did. They plotted against their brother and indirectly plotting against their father. But on realizing that, despite that, the father never lost hope over these children. He said, "Oh, my sons, go and search for Yusuf." He never lost hope over the other brothers of Yusuf, never lost hope over Yusuf himself, never lost hope over the younger brother of Yusuf, Bunyamin. All of them, it was positive. That's Yaqub, the father. So we too could be having a challenge over a child, a daughter, about their waywardness. We must continuously engage and be positive to engage them. We must also realize maybe it is one of the gaps that we have left while they were growing up, like we mentioned earlier on. So we must be optimistic and not lose hope. Allah said, "And he raised his parents upon the throne." That was when they discovered Yusuf at the end of the day in Egypt, and all the family members went there and they saw Yusuf being at that majestic position, that lofty position, close to the king of the land, being one of the ministers of the land. And Allah says, "And he raised his parent," that was Yusuf, he raised his parent upon the throne. "Oh, my father, be here." He raised his parents upon the throne. And they bowed to him. Everybody bowed to him in prostration. And he said, "Oh, my father, this is the fulfillment of my vision before that I had, the vision I had. My Lord has made it come to be true. And it was indeed good to me when he took me out of prison and brought you all from the desert after Satan has caused discord between me and my brothers. Indeed, my Lord is subtle in what he wills. Indeed, he is the knowing, the wise." Surah to Yusuf, verse 100. So, we need to take care in raising and nurturing our children and be mindful of their deviation. For the downfall of the youth, basically, is obviously the downfall of the society. Pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make it easy for us
شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان